When I get into a relationship, my partner literally consumes me. Because I love Krystle more than I have ever loved anybody in my whole life. My relationship with her was the calmest, most kindest, most gentle relationship I have ever been in, hands down. Everything was just beautiful. Destiny saved me from a dark, dark place. She has seen me at my worst, and somehow she still thought I was the most beautiful thing she's ever seen. I will never give up on her. Like, the person I'm with now, she's the person that I want to see at the end of the aisle that I'm walking down when I'm wearing my wedding dress. Like, she's the one I want to marry. I've never felt that sort of like joy and happiness and just like pure excitement and love. I've never felt that before. Like, I just wish I could explain it more to you guys, and I wish that you guys could see the dynamic, because it's honestly beautiful. Like, every day I wake up and I just feel extremely lucky. It's crazy because you meet so many people in your lifetime. Like, you think people are great, and then you finally meet that one person that like changes your whole outlook on just like life in general and people and love. We mesh perfectly together. That's when she started punching me a lot. She would aim for my belly. She would punch me really hard in my stomach. She'd punch me like around right here a lot. She got a knife and was throwing it in my face and saying she was gonna stab me. I was like, yeah, right. Like,
I never, ever did that. Ever. I was 15 years old. Those were the exact places she hit me. Between the table and the bed was her over me, wailing on me. She threw a glass cup at my mom. I had such mental issues from being with her that I ended up for a weekend in a mental hospital.
We were not the only married couple she was tangled with. She was talking to other married couples as well.
Amberlynn did not shower the whole time we were at my mom's.
She did keep me from seeing my mom and my family a lot of times, especially when my mom was very sick.
During a relationship with Casey, she would be getting gifts from Krystle.
Amber had a Life 360 account and put her on it so that she could track her.
She was Googling every address I was at just to know where I was at.
I just remember seeing everything happen and then being on the floor and just screaming.
You know, we had no business getting engaged, but, you know, she ordered the rings without me knowing and was like, these are the ones I want you to propose to me with.
She had Krystle. Yes, she admitted to me that she hit her once, and I wish I never deleted that message.
Amberlynn Reid left Beck with $200.
Knew that Erica was married, told Erica not to sleep with her own wife.
She had started pretending to be me in text messages.
She starts screaming at me from the sliding glass doorway, saying that she's gonna harm herself.
She claims that she had to pull a knife out of Jade's hand.
I went and spent 5 days on the 5th floor of the hospital, which is a psych ward.
As far as her manipulation goes, I worked in a maximum custody prison for close to 10 years. But with her, it was like I've never been that manipulated before in my life.
I don't know if I can date ever again.
In life, you might have a few relationships, okay?
Well, hello. My name is Chris, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we dive back into the Amberverse, as I now feel compelled to dig a bit deeper into her past, specifically her past relationships, and the unsettling behavioral patterns Amber has displayed in each and every one, as well as the reoccurring mistakes she refuses to learn from, how she never allows herself to be single for a necessary period of time, as all of her relationships have overlapped one another, and lastly, how she always manages to have other options on her back burners if her current partner decides they want out. Please note that I am just a woman with a laptop and a dream, researching these he said, she said stories of alleged events. Please do your own research, if you wish, and know that this video is for entertainment purposes only. Do not send hate to anyone mentioned in this video. Now, let us begin in the summer of 2008. Amberlynn Reid is 17. and living in California with one of her foster families. Amber has had a difficult childhood, to say the least, as her parents both struggled with drug addiction, and her siblings needed to be taken away from them. Amber starts chatting with a 15-year-old named Casey online, who at this time is presenting as a lesbian named Cassidy. Although he transitioned after this relationship, I will just be using the name Casey throughout for consistency. Casey and Amber connect a bit through some shared experiences in the foster care system, as Casey is currently living with his adopted mother. He is also accepting of Amber's weight, which is something she is incredibly insecure about. Casey claims that during this time, Amber pressures him into sending her nude photos, despite him being incredibly uncomfortable with it and underage, making the act illegal. The two continue their online relationship for about a year before ever seeing each other in person. In the summer of 2009, 16-year-old Casey and his mom go to visit his Nana in California, and the long-distance couple use this as an opportunity to finally meet face-to-face. Casey admits that at first he is not physically attracted to Amber, but outer appearance isn't much of a priority to him. However, Amber is very hurt by this. When Amber turns 18, she ages out of the foster care system and moves from California to Oklahoma to live with her mother and grandmother. She travels to Arizona to visit Casey again for his birthday, so the couple could spend more time together and go to an anime convention, as Casey is very much into anime. However, Casey and his mother are hit with a bomb when Amber is told that she is being kicked out of her grandmother's house and cannot return home. Casey's mom is already struggling as a single mother on food stamps, working overtime and double shifts as a janitor in a hospital, and living in an incredibly cramped studio apartment with her teenager and now new boyfriend. As one would imagine, she's pissed. To have someone else's responsibility sprung onto you like that when you are already having trouble making ends meet is unimaginable. However, after Casey fights for Amber, his mom allows her to stay, knowing that she has nowhere else to go. So, Amber moves in, and over the next year, the tension inevitably rises. Amber is indeed an adult at this point, but she is fresh out of foster care, with no driver's license and no work experience. Casey is still in high school, so Amber is at the apartment on her phone all day, contributing nothing financially while complaining about cleaning and other basic chores. She shares these complaints publicly online, listing out the woes of her living situation. Her posts are immature and disrespectful, to say the very least. However, at the most, some of these posts were violent and threatening. Casey's mom gives Amber an ultimatum and tells her that she has two choices: get a job or go to school. Amber chooses school and is going for her associates in criminal justice. She says she wants to become a social worker and help kids that are in the same position that she had been in. However, despite her passing all of her classes and being 8 months away from getting her degree, Amber decides she does not want to continue and drops out. Amber has been talking to a girl named Krystle online. Krystle's parents are seemingly well off, and she starts sending Amber money and expensive gifts. She even paid Amber's phone bill. This hurts Casey, as he simply cannot afford to buy Amber nice things himself. Unfortunately, this is not the first time Amber attempted to open their relationship up. Before meeting in person, Amber admitted to making out with another girl and hooking up with a girl in a hot tub while in the long-distance relationship with Casey. There is yet another girl that Casey later refers to as Paige that Amber wanted an open relationship with as well. Paige would also send her money and gifts because Amber made Casey out to look like a monster that she needed saving from, but that relationship fizzled out over time. And now, Amber is infatuated with Krystle, and even blatantly posting about it online. Despite her clearly having a relationship with Krystle on the side, Amber does not like Casey spending time with his best friend, a girl named Alex who he has known for years. According to Casey, Amber will initially give permission for him to hang out with her, and then later accuse him of sleeping with his best friend and demand he come home. If he refuses, she threatens to break up with him. Casey's friends are heavily concerned. When at school, they see he is distraught and he has been crying, and that he has bruises on his arms. They simply ask, "Amber again?" Amber goes through Casey's phone while he gets ready for school, and even sends messages to his friends. Casey inevitably loses some of these friends for good. Despite her getting money from another woman, Amber still gets offended when Casey wants to spend his own money on himself. One day, while trying to purchase 2 highly anticipated video games with his birthday money, Amber only lets him get one. According to Casey, when Amber gets upset with him, she digs her nails into his arm and throws his phone. She even ruins a piece of his artwork he had been working on for months. When Casey finally decides to come out to Amber as trans, while watching the film Boys Don't Cry, Amber's response is that she doesn't want to date a boy. Casey explains that when he wants children one day, he He wants to be called Papa, not Mama. Amber then tells him that he will never be a father. In 2011, Krystle comes to visit Amber. Amber wants an open relationship, and Casey feels like he has no choice in the matter, so he agrees. However, this is very brief, because shortly after this, Amber breaks up with Casey and flies to Arizona to be with Krystle for good. After Amber leaves, Casey is finally free. However, the relationship does leave some permanent scarring that will follow Casey later in life. The mistreatment has taken its toll. He excludes himself from everyone at school and feels as though he can no longer be around people. He spends a weekend in a mental hospital and needs to see a psychiatrist, who then asks him to compile a list showcasing what it was like being with Amber. The list includes: spoil her, don't make her repeat herself, make and pack lunch, always cuddle her, speak when spoken to, don't spend money on myself. Going into future relationships, Casey unfortunately falls into similar traps and reclaims that same pushover role. 3 years pass, and Casey and Amber briefly reconnect on civil terms. Amber messages him and tells him that she has started a YouTube channel and has around 600 subscribers, and Casey is genuinely happy for her. Amber then awkwardly asks for sexual advice, which catches Casey off guard, but aside from that, it seems as though the two have buried the hatchet. However, unbeknownst to Casey, Amber would later dig it up and bury it in his back. 6 years after their breakup, in May of 2016, Amber uploads a video to her YouTube channel, in which Amber claims to her now much larger audience that 6 months after she moved in with Casey, things became violent, and that one day, after Casey had dropped a laundry basket on the sidewalk, he took Amber by the throat and started yelling at her. That he would pinch and punch her if he didn't get his way, that he pushed her up against the counter and threatened her with a knife, that he would beg and then force her into physical intimacy when she said no, because he was so sexually attracted to her. She even accuses Casey's mother of throwing a glass ashtray at her head. Because Amber uses Casey's previous first name, she thinks that making this video is perfectly fine. However, the video is eventually sent to Casey's family members and his fiancée at the time, who then informs him about what Amber is accusing him of. On September 16th, Casey responds with his own YouTube video, passionately denying Amber's claims. As for the laundry story, he claims that Amber never did laundry and that he and his mom always did it for her. And how Amber said that Casey punched her was exactly how Amber would punch him, and if he ever put his hands on her, it was strictly in self-defense. One night, when they were home alone, Casey claims that Amber wailed on him on the bed, repeatedly hitting him. As for his mom throwing an ashtray at her, Amber threw a drinking glass at Casey's mom so hard it shattered and left a mark on the wall. Casey explains that to this day, he still flinches when someone reaches over him or calls his name from across the room. Amber goes into panic mode when viewers watch Casey's side of the story and begin calling her out. 3 days after his upload, Amber demands Casey take the video down and threatens to contact YouTube. Despite the thought of being in a courtroom with Amber horrifying him, Casey refuses, and the video remains up to this day. Finally, Casey is able to tell Amber no. It is now 2011, and Amber is moving in with her new girlfriend, Krystle. The two of them met online nearly a year prior. Krystle thought Amber was beautiful, and this helped with Amber's poor self-esteem. Amber says that Krystle was very nice, but a little weird. She is certainly on the shyer, awkward side, and like Amber's previous partner Casey, Krystle loves anime and video games, to which Amber constantly puts her down for. Krystle is well taken care of, and in turn, takes care of Amber. Even while Amber was living with Casey, Krystle was paying her phone bill and sending her money, as well as expensive gifts. She even gives Amber money for her new piercings. According to Casey, Krystle asked Amber over the phone how many gigabytes she wanted for the new iPod Touch she was going to buy her. Amber was insulted by this question and started yelling at Krystle to the point where Krystle started crying. When Krystle came to visit Amber in Arizona, Amber and Krystle were intimate with one another, and allegedly, Amber was intimate with Casey shortly after this. After being in an open relationship for a very short time, Amber breaks up with Casey over an argument about him coming home late due to his involvement in after-school clubs. The next day, Amber is on the plane to Virginia to embark on her next chapter. After Amber arrives in Virginia, Krystle's parents are incredibly supportive of this relationship and take Amber into their home as if she is family. Krystle's parents are taking care of all the household expenses, so both Krystle and Amber don't have to work. On top of this, Amber claims online that she gets an allowance, if you will, of over $1,400 a month from Krystle's parents. All the girls do to earn their keep are basic chores around the house. Krystle's parents even bring Amber along with them on their family vacations and pay off her medical bills whenever she has a health issue. They even buy Amber a dog named Monkey. After her own parents had failed her as a child, Amber finally has the parents and family she has always wanted. However, despite their overwhelming support and generosity, Amber still admits to arguing with Krystle's parents on occasion. Despite this, Amber still feels supported enough to finally try to lose weight. In fact, she loses 89 pounds while living with Krystle. Krystle loses some weight along with her, and all seems well. Unfortunately, Amber gains the weight back over time. However, she claims she is not giving up. In November of 2013, Amberlynn uploads her very first YouTube video, wanting to document her weight loss journey in hopes of seeking inspiration and community from others online. At first, she does receive support. However, as she uploads more and more vlogs showcasing both her fluctuating weight as well as her personal life, she inevitably receives some questions as well. When asked why she doesn't get a job, because she is now in her 20s, Amber says that she simply does not have transportation. She does not have a driver's license or a car, and there are no buses where she lives. She continues to claim that Krystle's dad wants her to lose more weight before getting a job, which is odd to say the least, but I digress. And she allegedly can't get an at-home job because her internet is horrific on her laptop, despite her posting YouTube videos regularly without issue. But again, I digress. Krystle is luckily able to get her driver's license though, and her parents buy her a car. She tries encouraging Amber to drive and get her license as well, but to no avail. Krystle makes it very clear, time and time again, that she does not want to be filmed, as she is incredibly shy. As the vlogs multiply on Amber's channel, Amber does not respect Krystle's wishes, and continuously films her without her consent for her videos. She even films her partner on the fucking toilet and posts it. In addition to that, as if Amber can't violate her girlfriend's privacy any further, Amber shares information regarding Krystle's sexuality, as well as details regarding her current medical issues, online, via YouTube and Ask.fm. Allegedly, over the last year, after Amber started her YouTube channel, Krystle has slowly fallen out of love with her. Gee, I wonder why. But she has not spoken up because she is just too afraid to hurt her. Seeing how Amber treats Krystle in her vlogs is uncomfortable, to say the least. However, I think it's safe to say that we may have only seen the tip of the iceberg. According to Casey, Amber admits that she hit Krystle, but only one time. With Amber's growing list of lies, are we to believe that it was really only once? On April 1st of 2015, the couple breaks up after not being able to resolve an issue that they have been having. According to Amber, things had just blown up into smoke. Despite this breakup, Amber continues living with Krystle's family and even continuing to share a bed with Krystle due to her attachment issues. Amber shares this news on her YouTube channel in a video titled "Going Through a Breakup, Sad Face" that is uploaded on April 15th. Amber claims in the video that Krystle is still her everything and still her best friend. Little do viewers know at this time that while filming this, Amber already has her next chapter lined up. On April 3rd, 2015, 2 days after Amber and Krystle break up, Amber starts talking to a girl named Destiny on an app called Who's Here. Amber wants to connect further outside of the app. However, Destiny tells Amber that she does not have an Instagram. And when Destiny asks Amber about her living situation, Amber says she lives with her best friend. Already, these two have something in common. They are already hiding things from one another. It turns out, Destiny does have an Instagram and a fiancé. And she has been in a long-distance relationship with this fiancé for the last 3 years. According to Amber, she reaches out to the fiancé to apologize and tell her that Destiny is a cheater and a liar. However, this doesn't stop her from stepping right in and immediately getting into a serious relationship with Destiny herself. Destiny claims that she has been mistreated by her fiancé and wanted to leave her for Amber. Before moving out of Krystle's house, Amber shows Destiny off to her audience while they video chat, boasting about how Krystle didn't ever want to be on camera, but that wasn't going to be an issue with Destiny. FYI, this is around the time Amber contacts Casey and randomly asks for sex tips, unbeknownst to Destiny. Amber moves to Florida on July 3rd, 2015. Her and Destiny get an apartment with one of Destiny's friends, Jessica, as their roommate, along with Jessica's dog and Destiny's 14-year-old cat named Gracie, who she has had since childhood. Amber really wants her own cat, but the apartment has a 2-pet limit. A couple weeks after moving in, Amber shares in one of her vlogs that the two pets ran outside and she had to go chasing after them to get them back in. The very next day, Gracie apparently gets out a second time, and tragically, she would never be seen again. According to Destiny, she did not have her collar on. To this day, both Amber and Destiny assume that their roommate, Jessica, accidentally let the cat out while returning from home late one night. However, some members of Amber's YouTube audience have a far more disturbing theory. Amber shows us a jar of change labeled Wasabi Fund and tells us about her dream of owning her own cat and naming it Wasabi. After selling her DS and her iPod that Krystle bought for her, Amber gets her own kitten, just 4 days after Gracie is last seen. Amber later claims that she did it for Destiny, because Destiny, quote, needed that cat. It's eerie to think about, regardless of what happened. Did Amber let Gracie out on purpose so she could get her own cat? We cannot say for certain, and we may never know the truth. Is it morally wrong for Amber to get a new kitten just 4 days after her partner's childhood cat goes missing? Absolutely. Is it morally wrong for Amber to toss this new kitten behind her in a video and laugh like an obnoxious twat? Abso-fucking-lutely. Amber's relationship with Destiny contrasts heavily to her previous one. For one, her and Destiny are far more affectionate on camera and more open regarding their intimate moments. Another difference is that Destiny has a job and pays her own bills, so Amber is left alone with the animals. She literally films herself waiting at the door for Destiny to come home. Another change viewers notice is Amber. Her personality has strayed from the sweeter, shy girl she depicted in her vlogs during her previous chapter. It's almost as though Amber mirrors the personality of her partners, at least on camera. However, one thing that remains the same is Amber filming her partner during inappropriate moments without their knowledge for her YouTube videos, filming Destiny half naked, on the toilet, and in the shower. Around this time, Amber is starting to complain online about being broke, so she lands a position at the assisted living facility that Destiny has been working at. She starts as part-time dinner help, yet claims to be making more money than Destiny. She is also vlogging at work on the clock and showing her coworkers who do not want to be filmed. A viewer even emails the facility, informing them that what she is doing is upsetting. Although her boss merely finds it funny, Amber cools it. Now that she isn't vlogging at work, we see more vlogging at restaurants, as the couple goes out to eat very frequently. We also see them at Walmart constantly, roaming the aisles on mobility scooters in the late hours of the night. One night, while at Walmart, Destiny accidentally calls Amber Pookie, a pet name Destiny had for her ex-fiancé. According to Destiny, Amber took off in her scooter, and when Destiny couldn't find her, she drove home without her. Amber and Destiny are starting to argue constantly over things both big and small, and the trust issues between the two are growing more prominent. Destiny even begins talking to her ex-fiancé again, and their roommate Jessica has decided to move out to live with her boyfriend. But Amber and Destiny do not make enough money to afford the apartment on their own. So the couple packs up and moves to Kentucky to live with Destiny's mother. Destiny is happy to have more time with her mom, which she apparently didn't get much of growing up. Amber, on the other hand, is not thrilled about living under someone else's roof again, and the tension is building between her and her partner's mother once again. Destiny's mom is determined to help Amber get down to a healthier weight, so she looks into multiple weight loss programs for her. Unfortunately, none are successful. Shortly after this, Amber decides to spice up her YouTube channel by filming mukbang videos. Amber claims that Destiny's mom is supportive of this, but shockingly, she isn't. Amber and Destiny hit their 1-year anniversary, and Destiny gets Amber a promise ring. Amber has been talking a lot about engagement, and Destiny wants to make her happy, but simply cannot commit to a legitimate engagement ring because they are constantly fighting. The bad times are beginning to drastically outweigh the good. Back at the house, the tension between Amber and Destiny's mom can be cut with a knife. Destiny's mom does have a prominent drinking problem, and Amber claims that she takes out her frustrations on her. Destiny and Amber are both training for their new jobs in data entry, but Amber mentions that she would rather do YouTube full-time. Destiny's mom hears this and becomes irate. She does not want Amber home all day, filming mukbangs and gaining more and more weight. Amber tells her it's none of her business. Destiny's mom tells Amber she is kicked out, then proceeds to throw Amber's perfumes down the stairs. She starts getting physical with her, and Amber claims she fell to the ground. Destiny is in the middle of this, obviously traumatized by this event, and has a panic attack for the first time. Destiny's mother then grabs a K-cup holder and hits Amber over the head with it. Amber and Destiny immediately move out and get an apartment. Shortly after this is when Casey uploads his rebuttal video to Amber's serious accusations about him. The critical comments are pouring in for Amber, and she does not know how to confront it. She tries to keep vlogging as per usual, about a health scare and an ER visit, and showing off their new kitten, Rarity, but the comments about Casey will not cease. People are even starting to dox Amber's work and home addresses online, which leaves Amber terrified, as anyone would be. Amber's eventual response is a now deleted video titled Speaking Up, where she recites her slam poem, Rain and Petals Eavesdrop.
Twice the lies, twice the price, twice the vulgar manipulated web. Spider to friend, friend to spider, enemy grudge and love lost.
Now onto what is known as the Mountain Dew Code Red incident. Destiny is invited over to a family cookout, and she's eager to go spend time with them. Amber does not want to go, and doesn't want Destiny to go either, especially after their address being released online. As Destiny is getting ready to go, Amber threatens to harm herself if Destiny leaves her. As Amber follows Destiny outside, Destiny begs her to let her go and see her mom. Destiny puts a can of Mountain Dew Code Red on top of her car, and she attempts to get in it. Amber comes charging, and Destiny closes the car door quickly. Amber then takes the Code Red and throws it at Destiny's car, demanding she get out. To this day, Amber claims this incident didn't happen, or at least not how Destiny says it did. Destiny starts appearing in Amber's vlogs less and less, and Amber quits her data entry job without notice. She prepares a vast array of Christmas gifts for Destiny, which she allows her to open early. However, little does Amber know that Destiny is beginning to talk to a coworker named Dana. With Amber now jobless and home all day once again, she is even more codependent. During every lunch break, Destiny has to go to her car and call Amber. Even if Destiny wants to sit with friends at lunch, she is not allowed to. One day, Destiny lies to Amber and says that they are doing announcements at lunch, so she can't call her that day. Amber then texts a friend and coworker of Destiny's named Charla and asks about these announcements. Charla has no idea what she is talking about. This causes the fight that ultimately ends the relationship. Amber accuses Destiny of emotionally cheating, and Destiny doesn't come home until after 4 a.m. or so, to a hysterical Amberlynn. Destiny breaks up with Amber on January 13th, 2017. The two continue to live together and sleep in the same bed as Amber had done with Krystle. Destiny still has a curfew set by Amber she needs to abide by. It's safe to say that Destiny, like Amber, also can't stay single for long, because she starts dating Dana just a couple weeks later. On Valentine's Day, Amber asks Destiny to get her a bottle of wine. She proceeds to drink the entire bottle and livestream herself doing so. Amber then asks her good buddy Charla for another favor, and the two of them drive by Dana's house to spy when Destiny is over. Destiny moves in with Dana officially shortly after this. The two go on to get engaged and even make their own YouTube channel. Amber is left to fend for herself, living in the apartment alone for a short period. She does tag along with Destiny and Dana whenever she can, and the three appear civil with one another. Amber also keeps Destiny close by making her own personal chauffeur whenever she needs a ride somewhere, as she still refuses to learn how to drive. Their next destination? Amber has a first date with someone named Becky. It is now March 9th, 2017. Amber is 26 and being driven to a first date by her ex-girlfriend Destiny and Destiny's new girlfriend Dana. Since this relationship, Becky prefers to be called Beck, so I will be using the name Beck throughout for consistency. Beck had started watching Amber's videos and felt bad seeing all the hate she was receiving, so she reached out to Amber with a positive message of encouragement and support. According to both Amber and Beck, the first date is quite awkward. Amber is expecting some hand-holding in the movie theater and a kiss goodbye before Destiny and Dana pick her up, but gets nothing. Beck wants to start things off slow, so isn't making many moves yet. Amber, however, is not interested in starting out as just friends. According to Beck, Amber tells them that there is a line of people waiting to be with her, and Beck has to make a move in order to keep her. So Beck, not wanting to lose the friendship, is pressured to rush in. Amber has been struggling living on her own, as, admittedly, she does not know how to be alone. Amber has also received news that her mother, who is currently serving time in prison, just got diagnosed with cancer. As for Amber's YouTube channel, Amber initially keeps the relationship off-screen, and then slowly trickles in the couple content. We see the two have movie nights at home, bake brownies, and make biscuits with chocolate gravy. The two go out to eat a lot, take vacations to Lexington and stay in nice hotels. We see them attend Amber's first Pride event together, and hang out with Beck's friends/roommates Eric and Ricky. It is not long before Amber moves in with them. Amber even meets Beck's family, and the couple gets a new car together. All seems well enough. However, despite being in a new relationship, Amber still seems to keep Destiny within close reach. They go on double dates often, and Amber seems to be treating them on their outings. Amber pays for their gas when they visit, and their food when they go out to eat, and even sends Destiny money when a relative needs school supplies. The audience wonders if Amber is buying the friendship at this point. Regardless, the exes eventually become spiteful with one another, and their relationship deteriorates altogether. Amber later admits that she was indeed still in love with Destiny while with Beck. As for Amber's weight, she appears to be making more weight loss attempts, as she had been, even starting an Instagram called Curvy Calories. But throughout her relationship with Beck, Amber becomes bigger than ever. According to Amber, the binge monster is at large, and Beck is yelled at when they don't give Amber what she wants when she has a junk food craving. When viewers ask if Beck still has a job, Amber says that they do have a job as an artist, as Beck is now selling drawings online. Amber has convinced Beck to quit their job, as Amber's YouTube channel is now able to financially support them both. Amber also tells Beck that they will be able to spend more time with their family this way. In fairness, Amber is making a very good amount of money from YouTube at this point. Beck even contributes to the channel more than any of her exes in the past. Despite being shy on camera at first, Beck warms up to it over time, even making some solo videos for Amber's channel, telling stories of paranormal experiences and sharing their coming out story. It is safe to say that at this point, Beck deserves a portion of the channel's earnings. However, Amber has complete control over the money. In 2019, Amber and Beck post a video together telling their audience that Beck's mother, Norma, is battling breast cancer. In order to share the AdSense revenue with Norma, the two tell the audience to watch the ads, which they don't realize is against YouTube terms of service. They also promote a GoFundMe that has been made to help Norma on her journey. Rumors and speculation circle regarding Beck's family members, their financial situations, and their intentions, and viewers question the validity of the fundraiser. Beck's family members even threaten to sue reaction channels when they bring up these details. The situation is an absolute mess, and only worsens when an alleged friend of Norma releases voice memos sent by Amber to Norma shortly after her surgery.
Not once have you thanked me personally for the money I was going to give you, for the video I made, for the backlash I'm getting for sticking up for you. Not once did you say sorry for any of the things that you have brought to my channel, and it's just frustrating. This whole situation is super frustrating.
Talking to Becky's mom,
and I
right after she had her surgery. I'm going to put it out there how Amberlynn really treated Becky's mom. Don't let her fool everyone, please.
Amber continues to keep Beck from seeing her mother regularly, despite her being very sick, often using her fear of COVID as an excuse. Later this year, on December 11th, it's Beck's 29th birthday, and they are heavily medicated due to being misdiagnosed with bipolar type 2. So much so that Beck doesn't even remember this birthday party at all. However, this is documented through Amber's Vlogmas series, and the audience notices that something is very wrong. Little do they know, things are about to get even worse. In June of 2020, after constant and excessive bleeding, being bedbound, and even needing a mattress in the living room to accommodate her, Amberlynn Reid is diagnosed with uterine cancer. So both Beck's mother and partner are now battling cancer simultaneously. Luckily, Amber is able to recover rather quickly after having a hysterectomy. Norma, tragically, isn't so lucky and loses her battle. Viewers are upset when Amber accompanies Beck to meet up with siblings and films a TikTok while waiting in the car as the siblings pick out a gravestone for their deceased mother. Speaking of Beck's family, they hold an intervention in the park and beg Beck to leave Amber, claiming that Beck is a different person in this relationship and that they are worried. There are allegedly instances where Beck wants to leave the relationship, but Amber begs Beck to stay to the point of exhaustion. Beck feels heavy obligation, now that they are not only Amber's partner, but now Amber's caretaker as well. Beck is also taking care of Amber's 3 pets. The couple then moves into a luxury apartment in Lexington, where Beck is even farther from family. In December of 2020, on Beck's next birthday, Amber gets Beck a thoughtful gift in the form of a personalized blanket with photos of everyone in Beck's life. You can see that Amber tries to cheer Beck up with the gifts during their mental crisis. About a month later, on February 1st, 2021, Amber announces to her YouTube audience in a Get Ready With Me that her and Beck are now engaged. Everyone can't help but notice that she is not wearing the ring. Despite her clear lack of enthusiasm, Amber is still very codependent off-screen. She sets timers and curfews when Beck spends time with Eric and Ricky. She is also upset that she is not added to the 3 friends' original group chat, despite them making a new separate one for all 4 of them. Amber uses Beck's phone and pretends to be Beck in the chat, requesting to add Amber, but Eric and Ricky don't buy it. This leads to the final fight, and the two announce their breakup via YouTube livestream on June 29th. We later learn that Amber is the one who not only picked out her 2 engagement rings for herself, but also paid for them. She ordered them without Beck even knowing. The exes continue making YouTube live streams together as people are enjoying their banter, and the streams are bringing in a lot of money. Amber agrees to pay Beck half of the earnings for the live streams they filmed together, but only ends up giving Beck a couple $100s. Amber tells Beck that the rest needs to go to bills, but after some digging, it looks like Amber made around $8,000 that month. Beck uses that money for the U-Haul and gas, and then is left with nothing. After being Amber's personal caretaker for years, taking care of her pets, contributing to her YouTube channel, and literally wiping her ass, Beck has nothing to show for it whatsoever. And although it's embarrassing, Beck creates a GoFundMe to get through the move as an act of desperation. Due to the trauma this relationship has caused, on top of other hardships, Beck does not know if they could ever date again. Plus, the overwhelming regret regarding Norma may never be repaired. The stress sends Beck to the psych ward, where they stay for 5 days. Beck feels ruined, terrified, and as though they have nothing left. Amber, on the other hand, is over the moon, as she is already in a new honeymoon phase with someone else. That's why Beck moved out somewhat abruptly, because Amber's new girlfriend is already moving in. It all started with an Instagram DM that was sent to Amber that simply said, "Hey future wife." On June 20th, 2021, Amber is still in her live streaming era, although the audience agrees that they were far more entertaining with Beck in them. Amber goes as far as mentioning that Beck has been an enabler and not nearly as supportive as her new online girlfriend. In a stream titled New Wifey, Amber annoyingly hints that she is talking to someone. 2 days later, she uploads another live stream with a suspicious name in the title. She is texting this person live and giving too many details away, despite claiming she wants to keep this person private. Well, the internet sleuths, who can be better than Sherlock Holmes and the FBI combined, find her almost immediately. The woman's name is Jade, and Amber has to conduct some damage control fast by claiming that they are in fact no longer together, and she is now in a new relationship with someone else, who is local. No one buys it, and she admits that it was a lie years later. Someone is clearly in her apartment during Amber's live streams, and she can't lie her way out of it. Anyway, Jade moves in almost immediately, and is the first girlfriend on Amber's channel who does not want her face shown at all. Well, she is the first one who Amber actually respects and doesn't show. So Amber is left to carry the channel on her own. Amber claims to her audience that she has never felt a love like this before, that Jade supports her and inspires her to finally make changes in her life. Lather, rinse, repeat. Despite inevitable speculation at first regarding Jade's intentions, over time we see signs of her actually trying to motivate Amber, wanting to teach Amber how to drive, buying her a sit-and-step device, cooking healthy meals at home, and encouraging her to lose weight so the two of them could bring their fantasies of traveling together to life. Amber is excited about these things, at first. Jade seems to have her own finances and appears to be working from home, just how Amber likes it. Inevitably, though, the relationship soon devolves into the two of them sitting around the apartment all day, ordering takeout for almost every meal, and getting their main source of dopamine from constantly purchasing things online. Amber admits she spends easily $3,000 a month on takeout alone. In November of 2022, Amber embarks on her weight loss surgery journey and begins seeing professionals. Despite Amber making thousands a month through YouTube, she apparently needs to save up for the procedure. Jade offers to help pay for Amber's surgery. Over the next few months, Amber claims to be working with professionals to hopefully make the surgery happen. According to Amber, this particular relationship had very high highs and very low lows. We can see through the videos that Jade is indeed a love bomber, and that this relationship is far more physical than Amber's previous one with Beck. However, off-screen, things allegedly are getting physical in a negative way. The rumors that are revealed by future sources, whom we will get to later, include Amber going through Jade's phone periodically, fighting, pushing, slapping, choking, verbal abuse, silent treatments, incidences including a knife being pulled out of one's hand, and one's work desk being torn up. These allegations, of course, cannot be proven at this time. However, they disturbingly are not shocking, given what we've seen. One night, around April of 2023, Amber orders a seafood boil. She suddenly starts choking on a large piece of potato. Once Jade realizes, Amber is alarmingly too obese to conduct the traditional Heimlich maneuver. So Jade wails on Amber's back as hard as she can, and the potato is thankfully dislodged. Amber admits it was so bad, she defecated on herself. While this should have been a wake-up call for Amber, she fell into the same bad habits almost immediately. However, many believe that this was more of a wake-up call for Jade. Despite Jade trying to motivate Amber throughout their whole relationship, her efforts are ultimately for nothing, as Amber does not proceed with the weight loss surgery. After Jade drove Amber to all of her appointments, injected her with Ozempic because she couldn't do it herself, cooked healthy meals for her, encouraged her to go on walks with her, and even offered to help pay for surgery that could ultimately save her life, many believe that this is Jade's final straw. The couple breaks up on the 4th of July and then watches the fireworks together. They continue living together for the next few months, as both of their names are on the lease, which viewers know is a mistake, as the two of them continue to hook up multiple times. Amber, of course, is already in love with someone else she has met online, which, shockingly, pisses Jade off. We later find out that the woman Amber is flirting with is named Danielle, and she is married. Neither of them want to stay in the apartment, but without a back burner caretaker rebound immediately available, Amber seemingly has no other options other than moving to Oklahoma, where her mother resides. The problem is, she needs to be driven there, and the tension between Amber and Jade is thick. So, Amber asks her internet bestie, Alexis, who lives in Wisconsin, if she could put her life on hold to pick her up in Kentucky and drive her to Oklahoma. Jade feels bad about this, not wanting to inconvenience someone else, and agrees to drive Amber herself. The two pack up and drive to Amber's new apartment in Oklahoma. While unpacking, the two get into a fight over the internet, and Jade storms off, leaving Amber on her own. A suspicious post is made online around this time and location that many online suspect was posted by Jade. Amber tries to reach out to her multiple times after this, telling Jade she misses her, but gets no response. But she gets over it rather quickly, because Amber already has a new Valentine. Despite Amber falling in love with a girl online named Danielle, she has inconveniently been in a serious relationship for about a decade now. And despite Amber falling in love with another girl online named Abby, she is inconveniently still closeted and only 20 years old. Amber is in her mid-30s now. Luckily, Amber is in love with 3 different people at once, and she ultimately chooses the one whom she nicknames Valentine on her YouTube channel, who she has been talking to since September. She announces the relationship officially right before Valentine's Day of 2024, after hinting about it for weeks to her audience. The two never meet in person, but keep in constant contact while Amber's living alone in her new Oklahoma apartment. We see Valentine send Amber expensive gifts, and learn that the plan is to have Valentine move in with Amber on August 1st of this year. However, it is later revealed by Amber that Valentine's real name is Erica, and Erica has also been married for nearly a decade, and Amber has been well aware of this the majority of their online relationship. It is later discovered that Erica and her wife Brittany are viewers of Amber. In fact, they are haters, and initially reached out to Amber as a mere troll, just to see if Amber would respond. However, unbeknownst to Brittany, Erica catches feelings and continues talking to Amber after the initial joke. Erica apparently sees a side of Amber that makes her second guess her as a person. When Amber first finds out about Brittany, Amber claims that Erica tells her that they are only still together for financial purposes. The relationship between Amber and Erica is very sexual in nature, and scandalous content is sent both ways, including a video of Amber with a crumble cookie, which she sends to Alexis for some reason, as well as Erica's personal content that was meant for only Amber to see. Amber's codependency and insecurity worsens to the point where Erica can no longer take it. Amber is tracking her location through Life 360, Googling the location she appears to be at, asking for screenshots of messages. If Erica is not able to respond immediately, Amber freaks out. Instead of listening to music and decompressing, she makes Erica call her on her drives to and from work every day. She demands that Erica not be intimate or affectionate with her wife in any way. In June, Erica loses a loved one and needs space to grieve. Amber is more concerned about their relationship and cannot give Erica that space. Erica wants out. Not only does she feel immense guilt for her infidelity, but Amber is just too overbearing. even though she is across the country. On June 28th, Amber announces to her YouTube audience that she and Valentine have broken up and that she doesn't want to talk about it and just move on. However, behind the scenes, Amber isn't moving on and keeps contacting Erica through different phone numbers. It gets so bad that Erica needs to get Brittany involved in hopes of cutting Amber loose. Brittany calls Amber, and the conversation is recorded.
Hello?
So who reached out to who?
Huh?
So who reached out to who?
What do you mean?
Did you reach out to Erica or did she reach out to you?
When?
What do you mean when?
Like for the very first time?
The last time you spoke to her.
Amber claims that she only wanted a final goodbye moment, but Brittany has none of it and tells her to leave Erica alone. Around this time, Amber is also trying to lure backburner bestie Alexis in behind the scenes, claiming that she has a crush on her. Alexis chimes in and stands up for Amber when drama channels uncover the Erica situation and interview the couple. Alexis calls Erica a cheater, a job hopper, and even a steroid user. But ultimately, Amber doesn't need Erica or Alexis because someone new has already bought a plane ticket. And finally, we have caught up to the present, Amber's current victim, girlfriend. Despite Amber claiming that this is the most magical, soft love that she has ever had, this relationship is arguably the most dark and dangerous one that she has ever been in. So much so that it needs its own video altogether. My next Amberlynn Reid related video will solely be about her and Tommy and all that has unfolded thus far. I just hope that this chapter isn't Amber's final chapter, as she seems to have finally met her match. So, where are all the exes now? Well, Casey did an interview with Mr. Snowflake in December of 2023 and seems to be doing quite well now, despite going through scarring relationships. He's still very much into art and anime. He has a YouTube channel of his own if you want to check it out. Krystle lays incredibly low. Last time we saw her on YouTube, Amber was visiting her in Virginia shortly after her breakup with Destiny. Krystle was now dating a woman named Nina, who is coincidentally the ex-girlfriend of Beck. I don't know if they are still together years later, but it looks like Krystle went on to get her bachelor's degree in cybersecurity. After breaking up with Dana, Destiny eventually returned to YouTube in 2023 to share her side of the story regarding her relationship with Amber. Amber wasn't thrilled about it. The two of them even went back and forth via phone call during one of Destiny's live streams.
Destiny, look at the people who are watching you. They want one thing. Tea. They want you to say what I smell like, how much I eat. That's all they want from you. They don't like you. Like no tea, no shade.
Destiny is now married to a woman named Lexus. Despite thinking they could possibly never date again, Beck is now happily engaged to a woman named Dakota, who was apparently an Amberlynn viewer. Allegedly, Beck has also been reaching out to lawyers regarding the unpaid wages, so I guess we'll have to wait and see if that goes anywhere. Jade continues to stay anonymous. If anything, we may see a comment here and there on live streams when she is being talked about, but just asking to refrain from discussing her private matters. After spilling the tea to numerous drama channels, Erica and Brittany claimed that they were working everything out. However, their efforts appear to be unsuccessful, as Brittany has confirmed via comment reply that the two of them are indeed separated. And why the hell not? Let's add Alexis to this mix for shits and giggles. Alexis stopped being Amber's friend when she started dating Tommy, because Tommy is clearly not good for her. She even went on to make 3 tea-spilling tell-alls on her own YouTube channel about the situation. However, despite all of this, her and Amber somehow became friends again, and Alexis deleted her videos. She now posts music, I guess? Well, that was awful. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please consider supporting my channel in any way you see fit. I would like to upload more frequently for you guys, but I work full-time retail with a very time-consuming schedule, and the videos I choose to make are very time-consuming as well. So thank you so much for being patient and for being supportive in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.